Here, FlipAnythingUSA. So I thought I'd talk a little bit about this morning, real estate investing 2022. People out there talking about it that have really never dealt with a downturn before and don't have any experience at it, yet they're giving all kinds of advice. You know, I can tell you I started in tough times, and I just think it's just nothing but opportunity ahead. Hey, good morning, Chris. And I worry also about these guys that are 40 plus. Look, I can't even imagine not owning real estate. All the security that it just makes me feel good, right? I mean, I've known this since I was very young, having parents that were poor, and lived on powdered milk and, the fucking weird orange cheese that you got for free from the government. It's wonderful stuff if you don't have anything to eat, but it's certainly not a lifestyle you want to, pass on to the next generation. And so I just thought we'd talk a little bit this morning. And also, really, I started out with just really saying, listen, you got to take control and do things. Okay, number one, get things done. And I'm reminding myself of that, by the way. I'm as weak as anybody else at times. Most times I'm not. But I got a shitload of things to do. I got to meet my lawyer at 9 o'clock. That's always fun. Nothing terrible, but I mean, it's stuff. Estate planning, right? What a wonderful thing to have to meet your lawyer. You're trying to strategically give your money, to your kids when you die, planning on handing it out. It's a good problem to have, and it's one that I hope you all have someday. But listen, everything's kind of going to shit in large part, and I think it's 100% caused by gas prices. I think it's stupid that we don't pump the oil out of our own ground. We can pump it out cheaper. We have tons of it here. Instead, we have hundreds of years of reserve of oil in our country, yet we're going to beg the people that want to kill us to sell us oil. Okay, it's stupid to preserve what we have here. It's so stupid. Until we have a green economy here, certainly use our oil, not somebody else's. I mean, if that's the plan, is to make everything go green, then it just makes sense to burn up our oil rather than buy our oil and send our money into other countries. Because guess what? We buy oil from other countries. That's where it goes. The profit goes to the other countries. So anyways, that aside, it doesn't matter how fucked up our country is, you can still make money in it. There's nothing scarier than the government trying to help or solve problems, because they know very little about it, and they're bought by all the lobbyists that buy them. And so there's nothing we can do about that. Your only hedge against that is make some money. Make some money and pay your taxes and just complain about it, like I do. But talking about getting things done, listen, I've always been someone that no matter how difficult of the situation I have to deal with, I go straight into it. In fact, the worse it is, the faster I get on the scene and go right straight to the problem. A lot of people don't like confrontation. I don't love it, but I'll tell you what, I don't avoid it. I don't like thinking about anticipating it, so I don't anticipate it. I just do it. I go straight into it. And it's just like, things that have to be done, getting things done. If I think about it, listen, it's paralysis by analysis. You have to face your shit and get it done. And look, you guys that are 40 plus and you don't have any investments, I mean, listen, you're as smart as you're ever going to be at 40, okay? You're young, you're still young, you've got energy. That shit goes away after about 10 years. It doesn't get stronger. And so you're as bright as you're ever going to be, but you still may be doing some stupid stuff that sets you back. You have to face it. You have to just hit it head on. And am I going to make a pitch for my book? Of course I am. In the book, I don't even make any money. I don't even give a shit about the book. Look, but you get my book. Get my book. Wake up and smell the real estate. It's $10, 10 or 20 bucks. You're going to get ripped off for 10 or 20 bucks. This book is worth more than most of the courses out there that people are charging $20,000, $30,000 for. I guarantee it, okay? If not, send the damn book back. I don't give a shit. Look, I don't care about that. I want to help as many people become millionaires, or at least make some money that otherwise wouldn't, okay? Because you're not in a position where you can afford to live on 5% of your savings and that sort of thing. I am, but I got a lot. But most of you don't, and I understand that. But you can't, you got to do the math. You can't hand your money over to fools and make 5% on your money and let them take half your money. And I'm talking about these stupid funds that are put together by people that don't really know what they're doing. And a lot of people that don't understand how these funds work. You basically put a fund together and then you charge 2% a year. So if you bring in $10 million, create a $10 million fund, you can make $200,000 a year just by managing the 10 million that you got from other people to invest with you. So take that at 100 million. All right, now you really got some money. And I think Grant Cardone, I think that's kind of his model. I think Grant's a good speaker. I think he's an interesting guy. He actually should give hope to everybody because he's not a very bright guy. He really isn't that bright. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to take away from him in as much as he's got energy, he's got enthusiasm, he's got confidence, but he's extrapolated that into telling people he's a good investor, and I don't see it, and I haven't seen any proof of it at all. Other than his own personal wealth, I haven't seen how that moves to other people. So but see, I think differently. I look at people differently. I'm the guy that, you can tell me whatever you want to tell me, and you're going to see just to look into my eye that I don't believe a fucking thing you say until I actually really do believe what you say. I don't buy into things easily, and you shouldn't either. But so today I've got 2 showers. I have to get, I have to go down to the tile store. I have to go pick out the tile. I don't really feel like doing it. Don't really want to do it. I've already done my takeoff. I know how much it's going to take, but I don't like. There's certain situations where you want larger tiles, especially if you have some issues. We'll get into that some other time. But anyways, I like to own it, meaning good or bad, I want to own it. I don't want to have somebody else go grab the tile for me and then come back and go, idiot, you got the wrong thing. So I want to take that responsibility because I don't feel good blaming others about mistakes that could have been avoided by me just simply doing the work. And really, you got to do that yourself, folks, whether it's with your investments too. And I keep making these analogies back and forth, but it's true. Don't hand your money to somebody else, because if you hand your money to somebody else and then 10 years later, you're going to go, yeah, well, I fucked up. I gave my money to, one of these fun guys, and yeah, great. I made 4% on my money. Yeah, stupid. It's stupid. You can double your money. When any investment under 100 grand, you can double your money. You can double your money on any investment under 100 grand. I don't care if it's $1,000, $2,000, $10,000, $20,000, $50,000. I've doubled my money so many times on investments that were less than 100,000. Now it becomes a little more difficult when you get into bigger deals, like it doesn't matter, just anything bigger. It can be, hundreds of thousands. And don't get me wrong, I bought houses for 80 grand that were worth 400. So you can triple, quadruple your money, but again, it's under that $100,000 mark. That just seems to be the sweet spot, and I think it's just because there's just more people care less about those investments that are small. They don't watch them as closely as they should, and that presents an opportunity for you young guys. And I'm talking about 18, 19, 20 years old, all the way up. Now I don't really have much interest in mentoring anybody anymore under 30. I just don't. And I don't. I'm starting to sound like my parents. Thinking youth is stupid and terrible and lazy and I'm not. And I know I'm not wrong. And guess what? I'm starting to think my parents weren't wrong too, because believe me, even myself as a young man, I was already a millionaire before a lot of the guys that I knew that that ended up going to college. They're just getting out of college. They're getting out of college with debt and not making any real money, not compared to me, and that's a shame. That's a shame. But anybody got any questions? Anybody want to talk about money? Anybody in that area? Over 40. Don't feel like you have enough, feel like you haven't done enough. And listen, go down in the links below. I've got a free webinar, but sign up for that free webinar, okay? And take the mentoring survey. I've got a mentoring survey. Go to FlipAnythingUSA.com. Take the mentoring survey. You get a free consultation with me. I will call you up, or I'll text you. And if you want to call, just text me back. And yeah, it's my cell phone, because I'm not hiding and running from anybody. I don't even answer my phone unless I know who's texting, okay? And if you get my message, it'll say, hey, I don't take calls unless I know you. And that's pretty much how it goes. But if you fill out that, I'll have your number. I will text you and I'll say, you want to talk? I'll talk to you. Okay? You're going to get a ton of my time, but you'll get enough that I can tell you, I can quickly discern if somebody has a future in this or not. And I try not to ever, condemn anybody, but at the same time, if you have it, and most people do, most people don't even trust themselves that they have what it takes to make money. Trust yourself. Everybody's got a unique life and a unique set of experiences, unique personality, and it doesn't matter if you're a fly on the wall, you're shy, or if you're an extrovert. I used to be an introvert. Now I'm an extrovert. It just works out that way. But take time to just examine your life doesn't take very long, right? If you don't have a pot to piss in, you better start doing something different. I learned this early on. I didn't have a pot to piss in. I was 19. I wanted to have, that's a term my father used a lot. I don't have a pot to piss in, okay? You got to take actions to make things different. Face your problems head on. Go get that shit done. I'm gonna go order a bunch of tile this morning. I also have to buy a bunch of this garapa. Garapa, it's a hardwood. It's from out of Brazil. It's about 2-3 times more than it used to be. Or last time I looked, it's about 6 times more since I was a cabinet maker 30 years ago. But I got to go buy this shit. I got to go buy 1,000 square feet of it, and it's pretty expensive. And but I have to pick it out because I have, I want a certain color. I don't want dark. And so, but if I send somebody else and tell them to do it, and I'm disappointed, might not even be their fault, but I'm gonna blame them. So I know that about myself, so I am going to go down there, so I have nobody to blame but myself. All right, Keith here, I'm gonna go reverse order on these. Pot to piss in and a window to throw it out of. There you go, Keith. Anthony wrote, Parker, congrats on the closing. Yeah, congrats, Chris, I didn't even catch that. Hey, Treasure, good to see you in your Treasure Networks. Chris, at my 2 closings today, I'll walk away with $60K in profit. Shit, that's awesome. That's awesome, man. And yeah, Chris, give me a call a little later and I'll talk to you about that. Hey, Rummel, I'm not sure I've seen you. I hope you're subscribed. Please do. So look, in the mentorship, guys, go to FlipAnythingUSA.com. You see, I do a lot of this stuff rough in the field. It's because I really am an investor. And here's the best thing about the mentorship is you actually get contact with me, somebody that's been there and done it 100 times. And I've done a lot of things that nobody's ever done. And it's because I've been such an active investor my whole life. And it takes me but a second to take a text and discern the problem that somebody's given to me, or that they're facing. And I very quickly, I handled probably 20 calls yesterday, and anything from hey, what should I put this clause in my contract? Hey, I'm about to do a deal. What about this? I already have it. It's in here. So it's very easy for me to say, hey, do this, blah, blah, blah. Done. Okay? Takes me, sometimes, I don't think a phone call even lasts sometimes a minute, because that's how quickly I can handle a problem. And that's something I can tell you right now when it comes to real estate investing, starting from 0 on up to tens of millions. Chris Crone can't help you. Grant Cardone can't help you. They haven't done enough of it. I'm telling you, parlaying your money and a bunch of other people's money into a big fund, or buying houses at full retail, that takes no talent whatsoever. And I don't think Chris Crone knows anything but that. And when it comes to Grant Cardone, all I see is a dynamic speaker that is engaging, and people say, I got my money right. That's when I got my money. Well, I believe he's got his money right. I don't think he's got other people's money right, because he's got 3,200 investors last time I heard, and I haven't seen many testimonials about, Grant made me so much money. In fact, what I have heard is about a couple lawsuits, and I hope those clear up for him, and I hope he's not hadn't done anything wrong. Hope not. anyways, so hey, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I'm only going to give you what's in my heart and the honest truth. But if you want to get in the mentorship, listen, you can still get in and get a year of me to have your back, but you got to do it before the 15th. After that, it's over. I'm not going to ever offer that program like that ever again. It's going to be much more. You know, some of you guys don't know, I have a VIP program out there right now. It's $15,000, and it's worth every cent of it. And but you know what? You know, my time is worth something, so I have to be compensated for my time. But when you look at go look at the people that have done well in my class, and I'm not telling you, listen, you guys can get in for much less than that. That's the VIP stuff. But for that's guys that are already millionaires, okay? If you're not a millionaire, though, get in the basic class and become a millionaire, okay? Become a millionaire. I have guys in my class in the last 2.5 years that have become millionaires, and some that even if they've fallen short of that, they still got hundreds of thousands of dollars. They have more money, and gals too. They have more money in their hands today than they had when they started. They have more money today to retire on than they had created in the previous 20, 30 years of working, okay? 20 or 30 years of working. They've already made that in just a couple of years. They've saved more. They have more in their account than a lifetime of working, okay? So I don't know how much better I can explain it to you to take it, you know, do the right thing. Do something. I don't care. I would say, I'm saying do it with me because I know I'm real, but I don't know who else to refer you to. I really don't know who else to refer you to. I don't. I don't know who else to refer you to. I don't know anybody as successful at investing in real estate the way I do. Anybody as good as I am, or that has done what I've done in the short amount of time that I've done it. And that's why it's so important that, you know, that you do something. Okay, start with a $10 book. Okay, if that lights your fire, then and watch these freaking feed videos. I made like 1,000 videos, and you know, people, I used to sit by the pool and talk for 2 hours. There's thousands of hours of information here for free, and then there's, but if you want to cut through all the, you know what I mean? If you want to concentrate, you know, listen. I go to jiu-jitsu. I take private lessons to just concentrate on certain moves. Okay. That's what you get with me. It's like real estate jiu-jitsu. In fact, I have some real estate jiu-jitsu rewards coming out. But it's so important. If you don't do it, you'll never know. And if you're lackadaisical about what you do with your money, guess what? Somebody is going to come take it from you. Somebody's going to actually come take it from you. You're going to become a victim, okay? And, you know, there's a lot of people that I know, I call it the G Willikers. You're like, G Willikers, that's fantastic. And those are the guys that are nicest guys in the world. Believe me, my dad was one of them. But guess what? They're trusting. They're trusting. Don't trust anybody. You know, somebody that looks you in the eye and talks to you and tells you and can show you, can demonstrate wealth, that is different than some guy that does the superhero program. You know, look at Chris Crone. Look at Chris Crone. That's called the superhero, right? Ah, boom, big music. Ah, look at me. Look at the crowd. Ah, I'm amazing. Do you want to be like me? And then he talks about nonsense and nothing. And then you get your phone number, and then you get bombarded with text and phone calls and emails from the people that work for him that don't know shit about making money in real estate. So this is what, you know, listen, I've got more people complaining about Chris Crone than anybody, to be quite honest. But that's in my emails and that sort of thing. And I'm not here to bash Chris Crone, but I'm just telling you, it's a fact. It's a fact what I've seen. But testimonials mean something. Look at my testimonials on my page, and then go find somebody else that you know maybe it has your interest, and see if they've got testimonials. See if they have people that will come out and say, hey, I've done great. Listen, get in the class. You'll talk to the people that have made millions in my class. They're in almost every Saturday when I talk. And we share, and we all learn more. I learn more every day. Hey, Robert, glad you're here. That's Robert in Portugal. Okay, let's see. Oh, okay, nice. Sounded like a realtor for a second. No, not a realtor. Tom, you should bring Chris to the... Yeah, I know Chris. Come on. We've talked about it, actually. We're going to... You know what, Chris? Actually, if you're still in here, I'm gonna get a Zoom call. I'm gonna start opening up the Zoom that everybody has a link to that's in the members, and I think I'm gonna open that up. Maybe I'll open that thing up nearly all day today when I'm not busy working. And what we'll do is you guys can drop in, and you can share with the people, what you want to share. Listen, this is a business. It's a business about making money, and I tell you all the time, loose lips sink ships. You got to be very careful. Don't, it's not a social thing. I mean, it's somewhat social in as much as you get in my mentorship. It's like a think tank, right? And you're sharing with people that are in other states and other cities, and you can, right? It's almost like being on vacation. Sometimes you go on vacation, right? You have a couple drinks and you're in the pool, and sometimes you're talking to a stranger, somebody you get along with kind of well. Well, you can kind of open up and you can talk a little bit about what you're doing, because they can't affect and steal and take away, because they don't know you. They don't know where you live. They don't know your last name. So you can have a certain amount of honesty in an open forum when people don't know exactly where you're at and don't know exactly what you're doing. And believe me, I invest, 30 miles away, 20 miles away, sometimes close by. But even then, I'm very cryptic at what I share until it's done. Because why would you talk about your treasure map? Why would you talk about your treasure map to people that need money? You know what I mean? Doesn't make any sense. So you can't do that locally. You got to make it your own. You got to make it your own passion. And if you do those things and you listen to what I'm telling you, you'll do very well. And so anyways, hey, I got to go measure this damn tile. I got to run down, pick it out. Tile guy's going to come down there, pick all that shit up. And maybe I'll tell you guys to talk to you a little bit about Schluter material. And, most of you guys just yawn when I talk about, not all of you, but when I get into the remodeling. Listen, I'm a general contractor. I've built many buildings and properties, and, I've got a lot of background that not only am I a very, very good investor with a long track record, apartments, industrial, commercial, strip centers, I got schools, I got, houses galore, land galore. I've done all kinds of stuff. But I also have a background as a finished carpenter, cabinet maker. I owned a cabinet shop for a long time, but also as obviously I've done a lot of building, a lot of remodeling. So, but I may get into the Schluter material, although it doesn't draw much people. And so, but I'm happy to talk about it with those that enjoy it. So hey, thanks for popping in, Chris, and everybody else. And listen, go to the links below and take the free webinar. And I got a free ebook. I'll give you a summary of a free ebook. Listen, I start to get short and frustrated when I see people kicking the tires endlessly. It's so stupid. You don't know what you're missing. And the people that when they do pull the trigger, they're going, oh my God, why didn't I do this a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago? And I understand, because there's guys that did it 3 years ago, and guess what? They're worth $1 million now. So get on it, get in the links below, take the mentorship survey, get a free consultation with me, and maybe you can get in the mentorship. But if you hurry, you got to do it before the 15th. Quit kicking the